Joining me now from Washington, D.C., President of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton. Tom, I think if the framers were alive today, they would tell the residents of Virginia, if you don't like the maps that were drawn by this legislature, then go to the polls next election and clean them out and get rid of these people. This is how the framers would have wanted this issue dealt with, not through the courts.
Well, I don't know. The framers did not want the politicians to pick the voters, which I think the concern is about gerrymandering. And you may recall, who was a big opponent of gerrymandering? Ronald Reagan. Outrageous acts of gerrymandering, I think, might be adjudicated by the courts. What's interesting about this decision, though, is that the court really didn't address the underlying issues. It was more of an argument as to who had standing to challenge a federal court overturning a decision by the state legislature to create districts while trying to comply with these onerous civil rights laws that require the states to take into account race when figuring out how to place voters in districts.
Now, meantime, the news is coming in fast and furious, excuse the pun, but fast and furious regarding Team Hillary and what transpired during the Obama administration. The president tweeting about it today, saying the State Department said it has identified 30 security incidents involving current or former employees and their handling of crooked Hillary Clinton's emails. You at Judicial Watch have uncovered information that show a coordination between the Obama State Department along with some leadership, Democrat House leadership at the time, coordinating to help facilitate Christopher Steele, the guy behind the phony Trump dossier.
Yeah, everyone thinks that Christopher Steele was only working with the Clinton campaign, the DNC, Peter Strzok, the FBI, and the DOJ. Well, he had another in. It was the State Department. He was close to an official there, Jonathan Weiner, who was a Libya expert for John Kerry's State Department. And he laundered the material through Weiner. And Weiner was also working with other Clinton associates like Sidney Blumenthal, who was a frequent email sender to Hillary Clinton and recipient of her emails as well. And they were pushing, and then he was pushing that up through another State Department official who was talking to the leadership of the House, namely Steny Hoyer's top national security guy. On top of that, Weiner's admitted that he was taking notes from the Clinton camp, giving it to Steele, who was giving it to the DOJ. So these dossiers we're talking about, we have to remember it's a plural. It wasn't only Steele working on an anti-Trump agenda, anti-Trump information. It was State Department officials using Steele as a vehicle. Incredible stuff.
And we have to remember that eventually these dossiers were disseminated, allowed by the Obama administration, disseminated through various levels of government. And that's why some of this information is out there today through these methods. And we have to ask, Tom, what did the president know? That would be Obama at the time. What did Obama know and when did he know it, especially when it involves the daily presidential briefings that would go to matters like this, high-level matters like this, especially when they involve domestic surveillance?
Well, one of the text messages between Peter Strzok and Lisa Page talks about the White House wanting to know everything. And then there was an infamous meeting in early of January 2017 as the president's leaving office, President Obama, where Comey's there, I think Susan Rice is there, Biden is there, and they're all talking about the dossier that Comey was going to go and ambush then President-elect Trump with. So they were all talking about it. So there's no doubt President Obama knew about the dossier. And, Mr. Comey acknowledges at that time it was salacious and unverified, yet they were using it really to, in my view, to intimidate and attack the incoming president. And I have little doubt, and no one's ever asked Obama this directly, but he should be, was he aware that the FBI and the DOJ was using this and other material to spy on the Trump team? That to me is a pretty simple answer that we need to get from the former president.
Yeah, and I wonder, I hope, but I wonder if the DOJ and its investigation is ever going to get to the bottom of it. I know that Susan Rice and Clapper and Brennan and Comey ought to be afraid right about now, very afraid because of that investigation. Tom, thanks.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.